All right, guys. So here's what we got. This is what I'm looking at. We sweep previous week low. Obviously, that move. Oh, my bad. So obviously, that move comes in far late, right? Comes in at 11, around 11 o'clock, 11:11, where we sweep previous week low. We tried to catch longs this morning, but got caught at the rejection block here. We could have shorted this, but we end up walking away. We sweep previous week low. We trade back up on a minor V-shaped recovery here to 29,618. We kind of consolidate around there and start back breaking down here. It looks and feels to me as though we were going lower here. That's why I was looking for shorts. Um, Taking it back with first TP being at 29,565 as we continue to be able to go lower. We did not break above midnight open um, at all, period. So we did not break back above midnight open. Midnight open sitting here. New York midnight open. Did not break above that. Did not break above the high. So, we're still bearish. That's why I am continuing to hold on our position here and see how it plays itself out. When I take a look at it on the 1 hour, you can see kind of where we are with it. And here's how we look on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour CUC, we get the sweep here. But do we continue to get continuation on down to 29,244? We got about 23 minutes until this candle closes here, where we're going to have to decide, is this sweep going to turn us bullish from here? Because we know here in this range and in this zone, we were able to catch longs from here. So if you can see, the market is fairly got some support right here, right? We got support right here, and that's along there. Pull back a little higher, get the sweep, pull back. Do we go higher here, or do we just continue to go lower? I know from our overall week standpoint of, if you got the newsletter on last week, we talked about this level here around 30,300 that got swept on Monday, and we've been in them reversing ever since. So with us reversing from 30,300, which we talked about in our last week newsletter, this week we're serving so much as the same of what we want to see. I think at this point it's more about managing your risk. We are in a bizarre place right now. I don't want to rush anything at all. I really think we perhaps could come back to this level here, but we'll see. Taking a look at ES, ES has been quite trashy when it comes to price action. Just look at it today. It's just consolidated all day. You look at the 15-minute orb of what we drew out on ES. You do get a break below it, but you've just been consolidating all throughout the day. Just trash, right? Nothing of true significance here, which gives me a little hope even within this short, right? With NQ. So let's take a look also while we're still in this trade. Let's take a look at oil because we've been trading oil. Made a lot of money this week on oil, which was pretty cool. So we're consolidating right here, right now on oil. Look at this on the 15-minute. Let's see if we can look at it on the hour. So we drew out this here this morning, right? If I could go to the 4-hour to show you, you see this gap that we have here, right? Say about right here. This is where we're trading back into. So if we trade back into this gap, come and take out these relative equal highs of what we have here, that's putting us at around $91, right? So obviously I don't think all this happens today, but I think within the next couple of days, you know, look at that recovery. In the next couple of days, that could be something that's real. Or do we just sweep previous week high and just start back trading lower? I highly doubt that with oil. I think oil is very bullish right now, even when you take a look at it on the daily. On that retracement to take out these relative equal highs here, here, back up to that high of 108.75. I could definitely see that with oil right now. So this is something that I will be keeping my eye on if I were you, if I'm a person who's trading Asia and London, to be able to capture majority of this move during that time frame. I believe that's when that's going to happen. Let's take a look at gold. We've been trading gold too as well. Gold has kind of been consolidating right now where it's been. You can see where we took a long on Friday on gold right here. We took that long there, but it's just been consolidating ever since. We never got another defined move to be able to trade. So hopefully when market opens tonight, we may be able to see something if we're going to be trading lower here. Or will it be grabbing this liquidity that's here for the rest of the day, and then we look for reversal, being able to come here to start targeting that 46.78. And the last thing we want to take a look at is the king of them all, the DXY. And we're still stuck. We're still stuck in consolidation here. Took out previous week low, and it's just been consolidating around this $99 mark. Once this is done though, and I think we start to get a pushback up with the dollar, you're going to be wanting to pay close attention to indices at this point. I will be paying close attention to indices and what happens at that point. So looking at MES on the 4-hour chart real quick, Obviously, here's something that I want to show. Let's look at this real quick from this standpoint. Let's look at it from regular trading hours. When we look at it from regular trading hours, I'm looking at this gap here. Thinking that that's where we're headed, right? In these shorts of what we've been in because we've been bearish. That new week opening gap, I'm thinking that new week opening gap is going to be a very key level here when we start looking at MES overall of where we can go with these shorts of where we are. Same thing with MNQ. With MNQ, it's the same as that thing. Here, I'll take it about right here. I'll be paying close attention to this level here on the Qs. So let's see if we could get a flush here. The new 4-hour candle has opened. So let's see if we can get that flush here to continue on down. That's what we're looking for. So it's a matter of us being patient. But I'm thinking tonight, definitely I'm going to be trading probably oil tonight. Oh, we didn't take a look at silver either. Let's take a look at silver. Because I like some levels of what I was seeing in silver that could be good for longs. So you see where we have this resting liquidity for silver on longs, and we still looking at regular trading hours. Like, look at this gap that we have that's here. Boom. You see that? Trading back into this on a long position, and we have resting liquidity with relative equal highs up here. This is my buy side here, and that is at around 66,590. 66,590. Man, that looked good. So something that I want to be paying attention to is this level here. I want to be paying close attention to that on silver too as well. We're having some patience here. I do want to see somewhat of a nice displacement to the downside with some continuation. That's what I'm looking for. We already up 1200 on the day so far. We're trading this between two accounts, by the way. So I'm holding a 30 contracts. Which already puts us up over 1300 for today so far. We did not lose much this morning. I know once we were trading here around this rejection block of what we got here this morning, we cut our risk, so we moved our stop loss to break even. In the event that that would happen, and once the market started to reverse from our entry point, that's when we got out the trade. And I think it was like somewhat of a $40 loss at that point. It was nothing that was major. So we managed risk very well. Let's see if we could get some strong displacement here. So we'll see. See if we can get what we want here. We haven't gotten that displacement yet of what I want to see. I do like our entry point here though. So within this sell profile, right? You have a few things that you want to pay attention to. Like, I know this morning we had an opportunity to be able to take this morning when we were here. So this is what happened with us this morning, and that's the nice displacement move that I wanted to see. Uh, that was nice right there. So let's see if we can get a little bit more of a push down. Then we'll start taking some profits off the table. But this morning here, this is something that I wanted for us to be able to add into our journals, right? Those of you who were with me this morning. So you see, we trade back into this fair value gap that was here, right? We touch in the fair value gap, we take longs, we actually enter into longs here. That was our entry, right? We enter back into longs, trade back into the fair value gap. We don't invert it fully, and here at this rejection block. But the thing is, we didn't know it was a rejection block at the very beginning. Once we started seeing this get rejected on the 1 minute time frame, literally VWAP, it was just bouncing below VWAP, right? So once we start seeing these rejections here, I immediately knew either we was going to get an impulsive move to take us to crack above VWAP, or we was just going to catch a reversal, right? So at this point in time, with me not liking to trade after 11 o'clock, which is seeming like for the past couple of weeks, all our trades have been coming after 11. We could have taken profits here and turned around and shorted this with our stop being here at this high, and we could have rode it all the way down to previous week low. But we didn't do that. So, so not doing that got us in a position of where we are trading this afternoon, and had to find, ourselves trying to, here, let's take some profits off the table.
Order filled.
All right, so we took some profits off the table. Go ahead and drive our stop loss to break even at this point, and we're just gonna let the trade ride. Well, we'll bring ourselves in profit here at 29,598.25. Put ourselves in profit. I don't want to lose the rest of this, but this is beautiful. I'm loving the way that this trade played out. We'll get ready to close out the rest of this. But we're going to finish the day not quite where I wanted us to finish the day. Like, once we take profits off the table here, it's not going to be exactly what I wanted. So this played itself out perfect. Take some profits off the table.
Order filled.
$29,569. So we played this trade very beautiful. Like I loved our entry. I loved everything
Stop
of what
filled.
we did. All right, we got stopped out. So this was a beautiful trade here. I actually have, if hold on one second. I still have one of my accounts still open. Let's see if I should hold one of my accounts. We'll hold it to see here, and I'll let you all see that. There we go. I still have one of my accounts open. It closed on one, and I still have one open. So I'll let you all see. Here's my other account that's still open. But overall on that trade right there, like I said, that was a really good trade. We liked our entry point. It was everything of what we was looking for. Um, I'm not mad at it at all, period. Here we got one contract that's still sitting out here. So we'll 29,577. So overall, we did good for today. Those of you who took this trade with me, put a W in the chat. If you took this trade, I'm not sure who all took this trade with me, or if you felt as though, it was a little bit too risky for you, then I understand. I do want to give this contract a little room to breathe, but I think we're just going to continue a little bit lower here. And where this could possibly go, taking us back to previous week low. I mean, that's the next draw that I could see, unless we start creating support around here at 29,560.75. Or we just go ahead and break all the way through previous week low and just shatter it right completely and start trading below it, just like MES, right? The Qs are dragging a little bit, but MES that's where it hung out for the rest of the day. It seemed that it just decided to hang right around that level. And if you can see it right here, after it sweep, here we go look at it on the 15-minute. See, we just been hanging around down here all day long. We could probably get the same thing with the Qs. It's just breaking below previous week low and start hanging around here. Obviously, we did not trade back above midnight open at all today, so it would have been nice to short this from midnight, right? But I know the only people who get crazy moves like that. Krantz, you caught that W? Awesome, man. The only person who get moves like that is Michael himself, right? Like Michael has this chart. I don't know. Let me see if I could share with you all this chart. I don't know if you all seen this chart that he posted. Let me see if I can find this chart and share it with you all real quick. But he posted this chart, and I was like, "How do you know exactly where the high?"
Stop fill.
All right, we got stopped out on the Qs. So yeah, we got stopped out on that trade fully. But all in all, for what it is of what we wanted, we got beautiful trade. But let me show you all this picture real quick. I want you all to see this because this is next level, right? Like this is the level where we all want to get to as traders. We all want to get to this level. So give me 1 second. Let me show it. See if I can. If I can find it. Give me 1 second. Here we go. History. I remember looking at it last night again, and I was like, just sitting in amazement. Like, are you serious? Here, I just have to go to his. Here it goes, right here. Let me download this and crap. Let me screenshot it, and I have to send it to myself in an email so I can upload it so that you all could be able to see it. All right, here we go. Boom. Now let's email this to myself. I mean, to see somebody hit the exact top on highs, knowing where to short, where to add to his position, it was crazy seeing this. And I was like, this is the level of where I want to get to. But I know that's something that don't happen overnight, right? Like we know that that takes years. The way he did it, it almost made him seem like he was a market maker at that point. I kid you not. Like the beef between him and whatever the other guy name is. I've watched the other guy trade. He's by far nowhere near Michael. Nowhere near Michael. All right, here we go. So if I can make this big. All right. I don't know if you all gonna be able to see this in the chat, but let me open this big. Okay. Tell me if you all can see this. If you can see this, let me know. But look at this. Buy side liquidity here. Sell side here. I don't even think this, when I look at this, I don't even think this is the one of what I wanted. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look at the tops. Boom, short here, short here, short here. He added shorts to all this up here at this liquidity, right? Like he added to his position every single time. 10 contracts here, 10 here, another 5 here. So that's 10, 20. No. Yeah, 10, 25. 25 contracts total to take into the short. He shorts this and hold his position, take half off, not even half. He takes 5 off of his position here, secure profits, right? Still holding. Boom, price drops again. Takes another 5 off. Still holding. So he only took off 10 contracts so far. Only took off 10 so far. And look at the rest. Boom, boom, boom. Breakdown, breakdown, breakdown. All the way down to his final 2 contracts at the bottom. At the very bottom. Who does that? If that shit is not inspirational, I don't know what's on your mind, like as far as being a trader, just first and foremost. But if you are a trader and you trade his concepts, this shit is like gold when you're looking at something that's like this. This is the level of where you want to get to, right? And so when I see something like this, and then it's like, okay, let me go and see like what the fuck did I mess up on today? And the same thing, and here's the thing. I don't know if y'all ever watch Michael trade live. I don't know if y'all ever watch Michael trade live. But when you watch him trade live, like he's literally messaging you within the trade. Like it would seem I could use some insights from order flow, doesn't it, gang? LOL. Like while you're watching it. It's insane. So when we look at something like this, we literally had this today. This is why I love to use things and keep them in a journal to where I can go back and say, you know what? I actually seen this today and I should have taken it, but I, you almost kind of don't remember within the time of you doing it. So it has to kind of be, for me, something that I go back and when I write about what happened within my journal on price action today, before the trades it is or what we took, I have to now key this shit in because I could have done this morning instead of me taking the longs like how we took here. We took longs here this morning. I don't know why we were still thinking to go long. And this was on ES when he did this. This was him doing the S&P, like him trading ES. But we seen this move on the Qs this morning on NQ. Let's go back. You say, Jeremy, like where did we see this move? Right here. Let's go to the 1 minute time frame. We saw it here. We end up trying to go long here, right? This morning, we tried to go long here. And it makes me almost feel like, damn, man, I'm an idiot, right? It gives that. But look, all throughout here, this is rejection blocks. He was adding to his position. This is gold. He was adding to his position at the rejection block. Each time it rejected, he added 5 contracts to short. So obviously you ask the question, well, where the fuck was his stop? Right? Like where was his stop? It would have been something like this. Boom. He would have been looking for something that's like this. And his stop literally would have been back above this high right there. Had to have been. Because he added to his position every single time that it rejected. 5 contracts, 5 contracts, 5 contracts. Right? So if I'm a person and I know I trade at least 15 to 20 contracts max. So that'll be 40 contracts total, 30 to 40 contracts total between both of my accounts. So I could have eased into the trade, meaning that the minute that I saw this rejection block, I should have took profits, added to my position, waited, we got rejected again, added to my position again. I could have eased my way into it. And then once price would have broke, I could have started taking, oh man. Gold. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Some people may get this of what I'm talking about. Some people may not get it, but it was right here on what he did on ES. It was clear. Look, we trade back into the fair value gap. The thing is, we did not invert our fair value gap fully. That's what I'm seeing here. So it inverted this fair value gap, which gave the bear signal. We did not invert our fair value gap. Look at that. That was not inverted all the way. There's no way. And I'm on a 1 minute time frame. We did not fully invert this fair value gap. I know people not gonna get it, but I could care less if they do or if they don't. But this shit is next level. Once you start being able to identify these, this is how you get. This is how you see things on a whole nother level. Let's do this here. No, we did not invert that fair value gap fully. I mean, I guess you can say that. Well, hold on. Okay, boom. I guess you can say that. You can say that, right? Because it broke 50% of the fair value gap. So I guess you can say that we did. And the fact that I can say that we did at that point, that was our signal for bear right there. That was the signal. Boom. And we end up missing it. Like this would have been a beautiful trade to take this morning. Boom. Take that, walk away, or catch the reversal back, right? But obviously this would have been something like a gamble because you wouldn't have had a true definite reason of where you wanted your stop to, I mean your TPs to be, right? So you don't trade this, you come back in the afternoon like I did, and you trade this short here. Oh man, that's that next level stuff, man. That's advanced trading that a lot of people they don't understand because they don't really truly understand the model and the concepts. Once you understand the model and the concepts, once you see it, it's so hard to unsee at that point. It's hard for me to unsee it now. But I bet this won't happen to us again. I kid you not. If this same exact algorithm of what played out on today happens to us again, in which it does, right? Like it happens. This was on. Let's go to MES real quick to see if we can spot it on MES. It happened on MES right here. Look at that. This was on Tuesday. Boom, 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 boom. Rejection block here. Add a position. Add a position. So let's see. Let's play it out as if it was like for real, for real. It would have been something like this. All right. Those of you who still with me, you're literally just watching like how I. This is me practicing at home. This is the stuff that I be doing. Okay. We're sweeping there. So we would have looked to take a long here, come back, tap into, invert this fair value gap. So it would have been here where this would have been inverted. Boom. There. That was our bear signal. So that means our short position should have started right here at the top. Oh, that would have been sick. That would have been sick. That would have been sick. Hold on. I'm going to replay it for you. Here we go. So here's what I'm talking about. This is where we would have entered into shorts. We would put our stop right here above the high. Here's the reason why, though. We inverted the fair value gap fully. Once we inverted this fair value gap here on the 5 minute, obviously, if you drop down to a lower time frame, you'll be able to see it even more on the time frame, on the lower time frame. But we're here at 5 minute, right? So we're just looking at it on 5 minute chart. Looking at it on 5 minute chart, we invert this fully, right? Because 50% of that move, it takes out this fair value gap here that gives off the bear signal. Once that gave off the bear signal, it was like murder she wrote at this point. Look at this. Boom, you short right there. Come back, making sure you hold your stop. Boom. Yo, I told you, this is why you have to go back to be able to do your own studying. And your own studying. This shit is next level of what I'm doing right now is at super advanced of what I'm talking about. You're not going to get traders who are going to be doing this shit on live. I kid you not. Because they only want this information for themselves, and you're getting an opportunity to be able to see me practice this shit in replay mode on live after showing you something of what we saw from the GOAT himself. That got me excited. That got me excited. I'm sorry. That got me excited. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. Boom, 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 boom. Like the difference is that with this is the only difference from his and ours of what happened here. Here's the only difference. The only difference is this here, internal buy side liquidity on his end. On our end, this is more like a rejection order block, right? Like that's trading an order block. But if I go to a 1 minute chart, right? Say I'm trading this on a 1 minute chart. If I'm trading this on a 1 minute chart, we only get it here. So it's not really enough for us to be able to add it. But what I would do is look at it from this standpoint here. When you're looking at it on a 1 minute time frame, because it changes, right? Like 9 times out of 10, we're going to be on a 1 minute time frame. So you add to your position here to take the short. Boom. Right? Price comes down, inverts the fair value gap fully, comes back, retest this area as support again. You add more to your position. Once you add more to your position, at this point, you hold. You break below here. You take off you take off maybe 30% of your position. Price rallies back, breaks all the way down again to here. You take off another 30% of your position. That's 60% of your position out. You're leaving 40% left. You trade back into this zone, and boom, for the rest of the trade, you exit out. Oh my goodness. Come on, man. It's stuff that's like this that grind my gears, man. It grinds my gears. Oh my bad. It grind my gears. Look at that. Buy side liquidity here. Shh, trade straight down. Come on. Best believe we won't miss this again, though. Best believe we won't miss this again. That's something to add to our arsenal. We will be adding that to our arsenal. For sure. For sure, we're going to be adding that to our arsenal. That's next level. If you understood that of what we just went over, drop a 1 in the chat. If you were able to see that, drop a 1 in the chat. Here, I'm going to find another example of that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you kind of understood that, right? Like, that was a beautiful trade of what we just took earlier. But I want us to be able to see the difference in what we're seeing in the market, what a lot of traders, like even this morning, I kid you not, once today ends and we just go and you're scrolling through social media, you're going to see a lot of traders talk shit about price action on today. And the one thing that they're going to be saying is the fact that a lot of them did not catch the long of what they wanted because they either caught it, they were trying to catch it too early, or they were trying to short this morning and they got stopped out on the long. Like, so, like here. If you trade these concepts, I'm telling you, this is the shit that they're going to say. Like, I know it. I know it. Them trying to short this morning, they would have shorted this, right? Boom, boom, boom. You get the 3 candles here. They would have tried to short this morning. So shorting this, you come back, trade back into this fair value gap, and you're looking to try to short this, right? So you're holding your position. You don't even get a chance to take your first initial TP yet. So what did price end up doing? Reversing back, right? And you're thinking that it's about to be long. That's where we got caught because we started to enter into longs here, but we got caught with the rejection block. Price broke on the rejection block, took us out at break even. We walked away, and the actual real trade came into play. Oh man, this is where we could have been adding to our position based off of everything of what we just looked at from what I showed you all of how Michael did ES. We could have ran the same exact play on MNQ this morning. That's one of them dope moments. But as a trader, that is how you get better. That is next level of what I showed you all. You might have, if you missed it, if you just now came and you missed it, you're going to have to run that back. You're going to have to run the replay back so that you can be able to see exactly what I was talking about. Then you would have been able to understand it. We caught these shorts here. Yep. That's next level, man. I can't get past the fact that I love the fact that I can be seeing something to be able to teach myself something even throughout the day, and me being able to just look at that, wanting to show you all like, hey, have y'all seen this chart of his? And you can see it on his chart, and you literally can say, damn, how did I miss that today? That's next level. That's next level. Let's take a look at real quick to see if we could get our setup for tonight on gold. Will we be getting a setup tonight on gold, or will we be getting a setup tonight on oil? Remains to be seen. So with gold, what I want to see, we get a sweep of previous day high here. We got it here. So we got a sweep of previous day high here. We touched previous week high. That's what it was. We touched previous week high, came all the way back down to previous week low, or we set the previous week high here, trade back down to previous week low. We come back, V shape past previous day high, start breaking below down that to take out previous day low. Where do we go from here? From here, this is what I think happens from here. I can see us coming back to target this. I really don't feel as though we're going to be bearish at all. When I go and look at us on the 4-hour, I just think this is a retracement off of that move there. You can see we're right here at that 62%. You can get probably see with the reason why I brought this down is because we could possibly catch a OTE entry that's right there. See, we catch that OTE that's right here. Trade back above the 50%, slight pullback, boom, we rocket back off to continue taking off. Because I'm looking for us to be targeting here. Like I want to see these highs get taken out, 46.81, and then potentially 48.25. Like I want to see that, not all tonight, but over time throughout the rest of this week. I want us to be headed back in that direction. So that's my bad. I'm back. How's it been? Oh, it's been really good, man. I got to show you what's been happening. But I want to see us trading back into these levels here on gold. So tonight I'm gonna be looking for my gold position and also for oil. I'm gonna also be looking for my oil position too on tonight. So tonight with oil, obviously, y'all already see what's happening here. And we have our gap that's here. So we want to be trading back into this gap. And so that's why I'm still bullish on oil. And once we trade back and take out this gap here, I'm looking for us to be targeting around 96.86. After we take out these relative equal highs that we have that are sitting right here, boom, we take out these relative equal highs, and it's going to be on and popping all the way back to 96.86. So I'll be looking for my position tonight. Definitely. I think we get a pullback though from here. I do want to see a pullback from here because you could look and see how we broke through the 50 here. We're catching that resistance there. It's kind of like we're in accumulation. Like when market open, we could just start trading higher, right? But if we start trading lower, then I'm looking for OTE entry at 8108. Yeah, 8108 would definitely be a key level on that pullback. If not, if we just start trading higher tonight, then I'll just wait on the first pullback to be able to enter in for longs to take out these relative equal highs by the time tomorrow hits. That would be my plan for oil. Yeah, that would be my plan for oil. So our plan is set for tonight. The only thing of what we have to look for of what's next is this here. Um, let me see. I'm looking at Bitcoin futures here. I had some conversations with some people earlier about crypto and the importance of crypto, right? And I know a lot of people may not, and this could be good for you too. 186-808-8808. This could be good for you too, because you talk about building like long-term wealth, right? And you want money to be able to be made even when you're not doing anything. We know the money it is that we make from day trading, we like to add to our long-term positions. All it is us making liquidity throughout the day to be able to add to our long-term positions, right? So if you are a person who trades Bitcoin or you like crypto assets, right? Say you like crypto assets, and this is just me being as real as I can be at this point. Say if you're a person who like to trade crypto assets, while you're trading crypto assets, ask yourself this question here. Ask yourself this question here. Am I making a lot of money with holding money into my savings account? Or am I making a lot of money, by actually trading my assets the way that I should be trading? Because I know a lot of people aren't really truly trading how they should be, because they either get caught up on trying to trade a prop firm account and they're stuck in futures market. They really don't, it's just a little bit of a struggle, but you can make it so much easier for your long-term positions of what you hold and be able to make that money through crypto. And you're saying, oh man, how we gonna make money through crypto and we're in a bear market right now? Da 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 da. Okay. This is what I'm saying. Right? I'm just gonna go to the 1 hour chart of our trade assets in crypto. Right? Let's take a look at them. And you tell me now, once we take a look at these, I want you to be able to tell me, okay, Jeremy, yeah, you're right. You're making a whole lot of sense here. If I don't make sense at all with what I'm showing you, if I don't make sense at all with what I'm showing you, please let me know. Okay. Your US dollar is 87, had depreciated 87% of its purchasing power. It lost 87% of its purchasing power. If you agree with what I'm saying, put a 1 in the chat. If you have understanding, once the dollar came off of the gold standard, that it lost 87 to 88% of its purchasing power. If you agree with that, put a 1 in the chat. If not, I'm gonna just show it to you. Okay, Krantz, he agrees. So check this out. Since the US completely uncoupled the dollar from gold in 1971, which was the Nixon shot, the dollar, and then you can go back to Roosevelt too, which was in 1933. Franklin did it internationally in 1971. So it happened to us on two different occasions, but fully happened internationally, which made the dollar be the number one overall using fiat currency, right? So since the US completely uncoupled the dollar from gold in 1971, the dollar has lost approximately 87 to 88% of its purchasing power based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index CPI data. In practical terms, what is $100 bought in 1971 requires roughly $800 today. Hold up. Hold up. So you mean to tell me this thing that people go to work for 10 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours out the day, they sit in the hour traffic when they on their way coming back home from work, right? So you're going to work for something that has lost 87 to 88% of its purchasing power? Cuz once you start seeing it from this point of view, you're going to be like, "What the hell?" It's going to shake things up. So, knowing that this has lost 87 to 88% of its purchasing power, now let's move into understanding savings. Your savings account at Chase Bank is earning a 0.01% APY. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Chase Bank savings account pay a standard rate of 0.01% APY for all your balances. So let's just do a little bit of math. Let's do a little bit of math. Just a little bit. If I had $10,000 and I put it into a bank account, 10,000, I put it into a bank account and I multiply that by 0.01%. How much is that? Someone please drop that in the chat. An annual percentage yield. So that's over a 12-month time frame. How much is that? Because I'm finna make money look very easy for you to be able to accumulate consistently each and every day outside of you being a day trader. Day trading is like the cherry on top. It's the cherry on top. Boom. I'm finna do the math myself. Current said nothing. Facts. It's nothing. Right? It's nothing. So 0.01% APY, when I can go to crypto and let's just do it. Let's go to the day. Looking at these trading assets in crypto for today. BTW is up 14% today. VVV 10% today. Hash 16%. Hits 17%. But let me just find something that is just 1% within the day. Pingu 1.6% on today. Not APY. That's today. SMR gave you 1% on your money today. That same 10,000 would have made what? Come on, man. Y'all can see it. You can see it now without me even having to force force the information at that point. Understanding crypto, that it's your fastest way to build wealth instead of you looking to hold money in a savings account. It's your fastest way of getting there. There is no other way. It's your fastest way. It's way faster than real estate. People talk about, oh, it's risky. Yeah, right. If I'm able to earn 1% within a day of my money instead of 0.01% APY of my money, what is the bank for? What is the bank for? I I literally tell people I only use the bank to pay bills. I transfer money to my bank account only to cover bills to pay with a debit card because we are trapped within doing so that way. That's the only reason why I do it. Other than that, there's no use for the bank whatsoever. My money is consistently growing with me utilizing crypto, understanding where the next trade is. And the cherry on top is when I take my day trade capital and continuously add to my position, paying myself. So why would I stress on going to work for an hourly pay, salary pay, right? Putting up with the stress and the bullshit of what managers put people through and everybody else put you through on the job when you can literally play the game right here at home. And eat when you want, sleep when you want, shit, piss when you want, do whatever. You can literally play the game that way. There's no reason for you to stress. So when we talk about crypto assets, because we're not in a bull market, you have idiots who fall off and they don't, and that's what you have to call them, because they fall off when things are not paying out the way that they want it to pan out in this market because they missed out on opportunities. But in Bitcoin, we ain't miss out on opportunities, right? We're here for the opportunities. There's a reason why institutional buyers are holding this at this price point here. The institutions are holding this price level very strong. If you think I'm playing, look. What do we have that's happening here? What do we have that's happening right here? We have some form of structure and we're on the weekly chart. So what I'm looking for, I'm not saying that we're bullish. I'm not saying that we're bearish, but what I'm looking for is I like to see structure before I know anything. Those of you who did not get a chance to play the game right and you missed the bull run, the whole entire cycle of being a part of the crypto cycle, you get a chance to be able to be a part of this crypto cycle, which I would consider this being probably a super cycle because of the laws that's coming into place. The Clarity Act did not get passed because the Democrats could not decide if it's okay for politicians to be able to earn money through crypto while laws are being set. Therefore, they did not pass the Clarity Act so far. They didn't. So, however this continues to hold, once that get passed, bet your bottom dollar a super cycle will be hitting crypto, and you want to be on the right side of it. So they already been punishing us through price, right? Pullbacks. But we're seeing some level of structure that's right here for a reason. When you look at when you stretch out on a weekly chart, you're seeing that level of support that's right here. You're seeing that. Keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on it. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep your eyes on it. Don't start deploying capital or anything like that yet. Just keep your eyes on it. You still have XRP trading right at $1. If you are a person who understands how to read charts, you should be in position of setting limit orders right now for your crypto assets. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not here to give any type of financial advice. All I'm doing is just making people aware. I'm just showing you. If this is trading at $1 right now, don't you think you should be looking at around 78 cents for limit orders being placed there? And you don't have to go big. You can literally dollar cost average into your positions. That's why you're here. Let's get this easy money. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. This is easy. So if you're a person who is not so good in trading because you putting too much capital at risk, save that capital and start looking for long-term plays that's going to make you significant gains. And be comfortable within that while you're learning how to trade. Therefore, you're not missing out on anything. You can still make money while you're learning, paying yourself while you're learning, or putting yourself in position as you learn. Because as this continues to trade lower, and I'm looking at about 50% of this FVG right here, that puts us at around 78 cents, 79 cents, 78, 79 cents. Look at the OTE entry at 78 cents. I'm just saying, that's what I would do. I would be looking at this, and we're looking at this on the weekly chart, guys. We're not on no lower time frames. This is long-term investment plays within crypto that's going to give us significant gains. The right cryptos. I'm looking at setting limit orders here. This is just me. You can choose to do what you want with this information, but this is just me. Let's go to Ethereum. Let's reset this. Even with Ethereum, look at that. Boom. Bear flag. Another bear flag of what we're in. On the weekly. So while this is happening, even with Ethereum, right? If Ethereum start trading below 1769, you're looking for another touch back at 1397. But look at the trades. 2023, we touch here, right? Price rallies up. Just look at the trades, y'all. Let's just measure this out to see how much money you could have made just off of trading this alone. First trade here, 2023. Boom, 195% gain on your money. Second trade, it comes in 2025. That's 2 years after that. 2025. Boom, 257% gain on your money. Right? Knowing when to take profits too now. The key is knowing when to take your profits. And here we go again. We're in this bear flag. Price decides to drop lower. If it does, we come back and we touch here at this key level of support that has been a strong level of support since 2023. We either break this level of support and come down here around $893, or this support level holds. If this support level was to hold from here, if it were to hold from here, I mean, just out of plain curiosity, or just us using our basic level of common sense. How about that? If we were to come here, obviously, we created a new high from the first time we hit support there. We hit support here, created a new high. We tap support here again. What do you think is going to happen? Over 300% move. Guys, we're stretched out on the weekly. Support. I'm showing it to you. I'm just going through each one of these. Solana, right now, giving you that same structure. You got SMT here at the lows. You got that same structure here, right? But look at where Solana is. $77 when Solana high during the bull run was at $294. If this is not a discount, I don't know what it is. What's the next Ethereum? So what's going to happen at 78 cents, and what should I do hypothetically for disclaimer reasons? At 78 cents, I would be what I was saying with XRP. Let me go back to XRP before we get a little bit ahead of ourselves. Let's go back to XRP. At XRP, what I was saying was, if I'm a person who is looking at this based upon the concepts of what you trade and what, or if you trade the same concepts of what I trade, right? Which is the reason why you tune in to me trading, right? You're pretty much learning the same model and concepts of what I trade. Well, with me, what I'm seeing is if we play 50% into this FVG gap of what was left behind on XRP, I would be one to want to set a limit order, which is a buy limit order at 78 cents, because that is like that is an optimal trade entry based upon our trading model. So where this green line is, that is where you would want to buy. And that's at 78 cents because we're 50% of this candle here that created this fair value gap on the weekly. So if we come to fill in this gap here, and the reason why I say 78 cents, look at where the gap fill is. Look, if I come back here, I go from this high and I stretch this out. Oh, where's that putting me at? Oh, at around 78 cents. That means that the gap will be filled. And we could start trading higher from this point. Price will never come back to this point ever again because the gap has now been filled. So I would be one to set a limit order at 78 cents if I could not accumulate any at 55 cents when everybody was buying back in 2024 at around 55 to 50 cent around that time frame. You know, you're not going to ever see an opportunity to be able to catch those prices again. So the cheapest of what you can get is around 78 cents. I would take that's just me. If I had capital sitting to the side, like 1,000 sitting to the side, hey, I'll accumulate at around 78 cents. I wouldn't put my whole 1,000 there, but I would take about 300, 350, 475. You know, I don't know. However you would choose to play it. I wouldn't put all of it there because I'll be diverse. I would like to have a diversified portfolio. So those of you who have not gotten my cheat guide, here, let me do this. Here's another asset tool that can help you. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. I want to have a diversified portfolio. Look, I want to have a diversified portfolio where I know how to build a portfolio. If you're not going to, I have this in my ebook, which you can go in and grab my ebook, right? We have a link that's in the resources description that is in the description here. Once you click on this on YouTube, you'll be able to go to it and grab the cheat guide so that you can be prepared. Like the tools for what you need, invest in yourself to be able to get the tools. Because if you invest in yourself to get the tools, you're going to put yourself far ahead and above everybody else because somebody is giving you utilitarian value and valuable information at this point. I'm only going to do this one time so you can screenshot it if you would like. But this is information that's in my ebook. This is why it's so powerful. This is why I make the money it is that I make. If you was a person who had $1,000 and you wanted to build yourself a crypto portfolio for the next bull run, how you disperse that $1,000 is very important because you want to be diversified. And the importance of diversification is very big, because you don't want to have $1,000 into meme coins, because meme coins pull back nearly 50 to 70%. But if you have a diversified portfolio, when those meme coins start to pull back, it won't eat so much of your portfolio up because you're diversified. You want to have 25% in Bitcoin. You want to have 35% in your large utility cap coins, right? That's like Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, Solana, Algorand, VeChain, Chronos, Polkadot. You want to be able to spread that 35% out. You want 10% that's going to be decentralized finance, right? That's going to be your DeFi's, Uniswap, Avalanche, right? 10% in NFTs. And you want another 10% in Metaverse, right? You want 8% to be your low micro cap gems. But these change significantly every bull cycle. So you will have to find out what those low micro cap gems are as we start moving into the new bull cycle. I'll be able to let you know what those are. 2% you want to have in meme coins. You build a portfolio like that, you're set for the bull cycle. You set. Most people don't know how to play crypto. That's why they see it as a risk. Oh, it's so risky. Da, 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 da. And they have all these excuses because they don't know how to play the correct way. They don't know how to build a portfolio the right way. That's how you build your portfolio and be diversified. And then, because you know how to read charts, you will know when to take profits, when to add to positions of what you have. And all this will be your spot. All that will be spot. And when you get really good, then you can start adding leverage to positions to be able to add to your spot positions. So you will leverage trade to add to your spot positions in order to be able to build wealth even more. So a 300% move is like you can now times that by 3, times that by 2. So a 300% move is like a 600 to 1200% move. And now you're building extreme wealth at that point. That's how you play the game of crypto. Don't let anybody else fool you into thinking otherwise and have you focused on one coin. Oh, it's going to be SRP that do this. It's going to go to 10,000. First and foremost, we understand market cap. A $10,000 XRP would be more than a whole global GDP based upon market cap. So that noise can be killed very quickly. That's why you can't get caught up on social media and people who are pushing these tokens. You can't get caught up in that. You have to be able to understand the information for what it is and play the game the right way. Therefore, you don't get burned. $0.78 for XRP would be a nice limit order for me. Let's go back to Solana. Solana, 77 cents. Man, at a high, it was a high of 295 the last bull cycle. 295 on Solana. I would keep Solana. I would stay open to what's happening with Solana. Keeping my eyes on that. Because as you build out this portfolio, these massive gains of what's going to be made, like let's just say for instance from where we are right now, if Solana was to go back to its all-time high, that's a 282% gain, right? That's a 2x on your money from where we are now with Solana. 2x. So imagine if you have all these cryptos. You have XRP, you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, you have Solana, and you're purchasing all of them in the bear market. And they're doing over 200% moves, 300% moves. You tell me if you're going to be building extreme wealth or not. How much would I need in initial investment to hit all those marks from meme coins all the way up to Bitcoin, hypothetically? Well, I don't know, what it is of what you have. I'll just saying if you was a person who had $1,000, right? $500, $1,000, and you wanted to place it within crypto, you would diversify the capital the way that I just showed you, with 25% in Bitcoin, 35% in your large cap utility, and so on and so forth. And I would disperse the $1,000 that way. When it's time to take profits, I take some profits off the table. When it's time to add to my position, I add to my positions in order to be able to make more capital. I don't just buy it and just hold it. I trade it, knowing when to take profits and when to add to my position. And that's something that you have to know as a trader what to do. But I would, if I'm a person who had $1,000, that's where I would start. Because you could easily take 1,000 and turn it into 10,000 with crypto. If you play the game right, of taking profits and adding to your position. That's it. That's it. So just keep these in mind. We're in a bear market, and I just want you to keep these in mind. So if you're a person where day trading is a bit difficult for you, and you're saying, hey man, I hate risking too much of my capital of what I have now, sit on the sideline. Sit on the sideline and wait for these moments right here with crypto. Sit on the sideline and wait on these moments and look for your sniper entry points. When you look for your sniper entry points and you have them, and you know where you want to enter into into the market, start building on your positions there. Therefore, you're not risking your capital eating away at it trying to day trade, because it's difficult. Just learn it first, but allow your capital of what you have preserved to be ready to be put towards something that's going to give you massive gains. I know, man. I just try to help put us in position, because I knew how long it took me, right? And it was like, man, if I wish I would have had this information when I was 18 years old. Right? Like, think about what we're told. If we were 18, if I could go back to being 18, right? Or 17, 18, if I could just go back. We're looking at let me move to the SPX real quick, right? So that we could look at this real quick. If I could go back being 18 years old, coming out of high school, for me, I graduated high school in 2005, right? So if I could go to 2005, I'm gonna go to the monthly chart. Be able to find it a whole lot faster. If I was focused, right, on building wealth in 2005, once I graduated, my opportunity to, and look, this is the reason why I put this line right here, was because this was me going back in time and saying, what the hell was I doing during, although when I was in college, why wasn't I focused on this level of information when I was back in college? That's why I'm so strict on my kids now when it comes to this. If I would have started back when I was in this would have been my sophomore year. Well, this is March 2009, right? So this would have been my senior year in college. My senior year in college, the market has a significant pullback where it dropped 59%. A 59% drop. That was an entry point for me. What the hell was I doing? I couldn't even tell you. Having my first son, doing stuff that I had no business doing instead of focusing on getting my bag. 2009, I had an entry point. Missed out on that entry point. Had I would have gotten that entry point back in 2009 and put my money into SPX, right? Let's just go here. From this point, I would have made 1,000% gain on my capital just by investing and not doing nothing else, by putting it in there and walking away. That would have been capital for me to be able to go back to at this stage of my life, of knowing the game a whole lot better than what it is of what I knew back then. Taking that capital and being able to deploy it into, look, Bitcoin didn't even exist yet during this time frame. Crypto was not even existing yet during this time frame. So that means by the time crypto came, 13, 14, right? I would have been able to take capital of what I earned from here and start deploying it into Bitcoin, and I would have been well over a multimillionaire. Well over a multimillionaire. This is why I say we don't have time to waste. We don't. When the hell are we going to get another 59% pullback? That was screaming terror amongst people. With the small pullback that we had with Trump, people were losing their freaking minds when the market pulled back about 12%. Here it was right here. When he started on his tariff rant and the market pulled back just a little bit. Look at that. 9%. People were losing their shit. Oh my God, Trump is so bad for the markets. Da, 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 da. I'm like, y'all are idiots. He's creating the volatility of what you need. He's giving us entry points. The transferring of wealth, he gave you an entry point. And had you would have taken that entry point, instead of crying and being caught up in all the news, you'd have been up 23% on your money. Maybe not much, But that's way more than what it was of what you would have lost, or way more than what you would have had just putting it into a savings account that's earning you 0.01% APY. Come on now, we got to stop. We have to stop getting caught up in those false narratives of what people paint. Get off the news and we on the charts. What does the chart say? That's what we're about now. What do the charts say? We don't care about anything else of all the I'm not worried about no Epstein files. I'm not a part of that. I don't know anything about that. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with my family. It's not affecting us. What's affecting us is me not being focused on the charts. Because all that is distractions to keep you from putting your family in position. That's all that is. It's distractions. And if you get caught up in the distractions and everything done blew past you and done left you out, left you on your merry way, and now you stuck. Oh man, I could have did this. Like how I was when I was looking back at 2009. What the hell was I doing? What was I doing? So now having this opportunity, we have to take full advantage. It's imperative that we do so. We have to. There's no other choice. We have plenty of opportunity to be able to change our life. It's hard out here in the economy. Artificial intelligence is dominating, taking over jobs. So you have to learn a high income level skill. And that is this. That is this. The day trading is the cherry on top. But you got to start with the long-term investing first. So I hope this information was good for you guys. Going back to 2009 all the way till now, seeing that growth is eye-opening. I'm telling you, it had me sitting here like I was with my son, my youngest son. And if you go through our videos on our playlist, you can see him on here. He has his own stocks of what he chose uh, and what he wants to invest his money into, and what I invest money into for him based on the things he want, like Nike. He has Kratos Defense in there. He got Walmart in there. Stuff that he like. Take Two that create all the video games and stuff like that. Like 2K, NBA 2K, Madden, and all that stuff. Grand Theft Auto. Like he is smart enough to be able to know like where he want his things, right? So him understanding that at his age, and he's only in the 8th grade, 7th grade. He'll be going to the 8th. He's in 7th grade. I'm like, what? He's gonna be well off by the time he hit 18. Back in 2009, I'm sitting here like, bruh, what in the world I had going on with my life? Nobody was introducing me to the market at this point. I'm so focused on, I don't know what the heck I was doing in college. All I know is I was in college, graduating, smoking weed, right? Doing all the stuff, being a college kid, drinking, smoking, hanging out, partying. Doing all those things. But look though, even though you're 29 years old, the fact that you're understanding this information now, by the time you're 40, you're gonna be well off. That's another 10 years. You're gonna be well off. You're learning how to day trade. So you're gonna have day trading added to your skill set. You're grasping the concepts of being able to for long-term investing. You're getting the opportunity to be able to enter into one of the fastest market cycles, which could possibly be a super cycle with this next cycle we have coming up with laws being passed, which is in crypto. You're at perfect timing, especially with the fastest growing assets that we have, which are our crypto assets. You're in perfect timing. You are not far behind. But think about those who are out here who are just trying to get rich quick, trying to day trade, but they don't understand long-term investing. You're going to have both. That's going to make you the Don of your family, because you're going to have both. That hit different. That hit different. So be sure, guys, to continue to put yourselves in position to be great. Don't give up. Everything in this market is about timing. That's all. It's about timing. So I appreciate you all. You're welcome, man. No problem. No problem. No problem. We're going to be great. Listen, we're going to be a part of that 1%. I'm telling you, we're going to be part of that 1%. There's going to be a lot of people who wish they was tuning in during this time frame. Because right now people are chasing signals, man, instead of chasing financial literacy. That's what financial literacy is going to give you, the structure to build long-term wealth. Getting rich quick is something that can die off. That's why a lot of people trying. It's so many people trying to day trade now than it has ever been before. So many people. But the thing is that they're trying to make money for right now. They're not understanding the aspect of how to build generational wealth through the market, because they're just thinking of, they're microwave thinkers. Just like how social media give you 30-second videos, 57 clips, 50-second clips, up to 1 minute. Like, people do not watch anything that's any longer than a minute and 30 some seconds. Their attention span can't comprehend. I see it all the time, even while I'm watching my live, of how many people come in, how many people leave out, how many people come in, how many people leave out, how long they tune in, how long they walk away, because they're looking for quick information, just like they're looking for quick money. But those who hang out like how you did, look at the utilitarian value of what you're getting from the knowledge it is of what I'm choosing to pass down, instead of keeping it for myself, and learning how to trade too at the same time, making money while we're trading. It's different. It's different. It's different. Timing reward those who were in it for the long haul. Those who in it for quick, they the ones who get eaten up alive. And that's facts. I learned that. So I appreciate you all. And we'll see how it goes tonight. We'll be making some trades tonight. Pay attention to my X account. Those of you who follow me on X, I'll be dropping some information there for the trades it is that I take tonight. And I'll see you all on tomorrow. I'm out.